Chorkie is a small decorative dog, mixed Chihuahua and Yorkshire Terrier. The designer breed has gained popularity around the world due to its small size, unusual appearance and attractive disposition. Chorki's origin story. Designer breed of dogs, which is obtained as a result of crossing purebred Yorkshire Terriers and Chihuahuas. They were first discussed in the mid-90s in the United States. Soon they began to actively breed them in Europe. People who cannot choose between a Chihuahua and a Yorkie can pay attention to the Chorkie. Metis combines the qualities of the original breeds, is less susceptible to hereditary diseases, and is an order of magnitude lower than its purebred relatives. Metis are not registered by any international canine organization, but there are breed clubs that make sure that breeders are responsible for mating and arrange exhibitions between similar hybrids. In addition, there is a group of enthusiasts who are engaged in the development of the Chorkie breed. For this, hybrids of the second and subsequent generations are crossed. Chorki's appearance. Most outwardly resemble a Yorkie, containing only a few signs of a Chihuahua. Dogs of this breed have a small, well-built body, the head is just as small, usually high. It is impossible to determine the exact color before their birth, since it can have absolutely any color, most often golden and black. The color of the dog is influenced more by the genes of the Chihuahua than the Yorkie. As they grow older, the color of the mestizo's coat can change dramatically. A similar change occurs when the Yorkie genes predominate in the dog. The length of the coat can also be completely different since it is a mixture of a long-haired Yorkie and a short-haired Chihuahua. Most often you can find red mestizos with long, straight, and soft hair. It is not uncommon for a mestizo to be born almost naked, with only a small coat on the paws, tail and ears. Weight is not less than 2 kilograms, but sometimes there are cases when the weight does not even reach 1.5 kilograms. The maximum weight is 4 kilograms. Character. Chorkie is a very intelligent but extremely stubborn dog, difficult to train just because of the peculiarities of its character. More than anything, the dog loves to play with people and other animals, but you shouldn't flirt with it. You can get a good rebuff in the form of a bite of sharp teeth. It is better not to let her near small children. She does not like being pulled by her ears or her tail, and as mentioned above, she is able to bite a child. Naturally, this does not apply to all Chorkie. There are also quite peaceful and extremely patient individuals among them. Chorkie are absolutely devoid of a sense of fear, therefore, when going out with them for a walk, it is better to hold on to the leash. Since it is possible that she will try to attack a passing pit bull or someone else larger. It is better not to leave the pet alone for a long time, as they do not tolerate separation very well, become nervous and wild. It will take a long recovery before the dog returns to normal. In addition, the dog is considered to be very touchy. An attempt to shout at her for any offense can turn into a refusal to communicate with the owner throughout the next day. A similar character trait was passed on to the Chorkie from the Chihuahua. In general, the character of a mestizo is most suitable for those who lead an active lifestyle, walk a lot, and go in for sports. Small dogs will gladly accompany their owner, not missing the opportunity to frolic in plenty. It should be noted that the pet is poorly retrained, therefore, the dog needs to explain the rules of behavior in the apartment from birth. Health. Chorkies rarely get sick, but they have a predisposition to some genetic diseases passed on to them from one of their ancestors. The most common among Chorkie are hypoglycemia, as well as joint diseases. Life expectancy is generally no more than 15 years. The smooth coat of long-haired Chorkies needs careful maintenance. It must be brushed at least once every 3 days using a special comb for cats or small dogs. It should be noted that the pet does not like to comb, therefore, it is necessary to accustom to such a procedure almost from birth. The dog kept in the apartment must be bathed, trying not to do this more often than 2 times a month. Your nails should be trimmed around this time. Often walking pets need to be examined for fleas, ticks, and any lichens. Visits to the veterinarian and all necessary vaccinations are mandatory, otherwise the dog may pick up an infection through contact with domestic animals, which is unlikely to be avoided during a walk. You need to walk often, but only in good weather. In winter, it is better to keep them warm at home or walk with him in your arms, having previously dressed in a warm suit. The owner of long-haired Chorkie should be guided by the rules of care developed for the Yorkshire Terrier. Wipe eyes daily with a cotton swab. Brush your teeth to prevent plaque buildup and calculus formation. Regularly examine the ears and free them from any hair that may be there. Cut at least once every 2.5 months. So, the Chorkie is a small, agile dog that combines the qualities of a terrier and a Chihuahua, which, in general, is good enough as it makes this breed unique. Advantages and disadvantages. Chorkie, like any other breed, has its pros and cons. Benefits: a small and compact dog that can easily get along in a small apartment, easy to travel and move with her. Having inherited fearlessness and loud barking from the Chihuahua, it is a good guard Dogs are cheerful and active, they can be taken for jogging and sports. They do not require special care. Smart and attached to the owner. Disadvantages: poorly trainable. Sometimes their fearlessness can be to the detriment of others. It is practically impossible to re-educate. Long-haired Chorkies shed a lot. They are prone to hereditary diseases. With the right approach, all the disadvantages can be overcome, and the Chorkie will become a great friend for you and your family. How to choose a puppy. Look at the puppy's parents, so you can determine the possible development of the dog. Do not take sluggish and immobile puppies, most likely they are unhealthy. Observe the Chorkie while playing, how he communicates with his brothers. You will also see defects in the joints, if any. Play with the puppy yourself. If he is too excited and aggressive, it is better to choose another one. The coat must be clean, without tangles. Inspect the dog for ticks and fleas. Watch how he eats. Check your eyes, mouth, and ears for any discharge. Where to buy a puppy. Chorkie is one of the most popular designer breeds. You can find a breeder in almost every European country, not to mention the United States, where they are especially common. Breeders are more often owners of small decorative dogs kennels. On sites like Avito there are regularly advertisements for the sale of mestizo puppies. Preference should be given to those breeders who use dogs for mating, admitted to breeding according to generally accepted rules. Tests for common genetic diseases in the breed are encouraged. Price. The average cost of a mixed breed Chihuahua and a Yorkshire Terrier in Europe is €400, in America $500 to $800.